You guys hear us okay? All right. Go ahead. You want to start off on each guy?
Yeah, you guys want me to give you a rundown of each player? Sounds good.
Go ahead.
Awesome. I can see myself a little better now. All right, so as you guys know, we had 3 picks tonight, 16, 37, 54. Couldn't be more excited about the group that we ended up with. Chase DeLauter was our first pick. This is a 6'4", 235-pound athlete. He's physical. He's performed extremely well, and he's an intense competitor. Goes to James Madison. Obviously, there was a shortened 2020 season, and then in 2021, played really well in the spring, went to the Cape, and ended up hitting 298 at the Cape with 9 home runs. He can impact the game on both sides of the ball. And then he came back this spring and was having an outstanding year. He was hitting 437, 8 home runs, had 10 stolen bases, and then he ended up fracturing his foot in April. But overall, really excited about this guy's ability, but just as excited about the person. Kyle Bamberger, Pete Loizo, and our entire staff had an opportunity to spend time with Chase. Just an outstanding work ethic, outstanding human being, and couldn't be happier to add him to the organization. So that was our first selection. And then with our second pick, we took Justin Campbell, who is a physical right-hander from Oklahoma State, 6'5", 220, up to 97, pitches with an easy average fastball, and can go back and get more whenever he wants it. Really good feel for his changeup, 2 different breaking balls, throws strikes. This guy he actually came to school as a 2-way guy and then really focused on pitching the last couple of years. And he's taken on a heavy workload and really done a nice job for Oklahoma State. And then he ended up pitching for Team USA as well. So there's a lot to like there. Really excited about his ability to impact our rotation one day. And then with our third pick, we took Parker Messick, a left-hander from Florida State. Parker is extremely durable. He's had a solid workload. He's been the frontline guy for an elite university on Friday night the last few years. He's the ACC Pitcher of the Year, pitched for Team USA. In terms of his stuff, it's an easy average fastball. He can go back and get 95 when he wants it. He's got an advanced feel for a changeup that he neutralizes lefties and righties with, 2 different breaking balls, pounds of strike zone, extremely competitive. All of these guys we feel really good, not only about the player, but the makeup, but more importantly, we feel really good about the work that was put into it by our area scouts and our entire staff. For Parker, Matt Linder and Andrew Krause led the way. And then for Justin, Ken Jarrett led the way for us with getting to know Justin. So that's kind of the quick overview. Any questions on those guys?
Scott, with Chase, is he someone that you guys see, at least right now, is a bit able to play all 3 outfield spots right now?
Yeah, he's extremely athletic, runs a 6'5", 60. Can out there, feel good about his ability to play center field, but he also has the arm strength. I don't know if I mentioned this, but he came in as a 2-way player as well. So he's got some carry to his throws. So obviously he can play in right field, but he's athletic enough to move around the outfield, super versatile defensively. So yeah, we feel good about him a chance to play in center field.
How is his timeline as far as injury goes, or recovery? Is he already recovered from that fractured foot?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I heard most of it. I think he asked about the timeline. So he injured it in early April, ended up having surgery. It was his left foot, had surgery on April 12th. And he ended up being out for the rest of the season. As we spent time with him recently, we actually had an opportunity to meet with him at the combine. And he told us that he was 95% of the way there, and the other 5% was just mental. Well, he actually had a workout just before the draft, performed extremely well, heavily attended workout, showed that he was back, showed that he was healthy. Another opportunity to spend some time with him. And he said, hey, I'm 100%. So yeah, we feel really good about it. Obviously we've done our work there. So that's the timeline.
Scott, can you just talk to us about the challenges that that you face when you're evaluating players that have gone through injuries? Maybe not even specifically the guys that you have drafted, but just the process that you have to go through to try to figure out, hey, are we reaching on this, or does this feel like a stable, good selection?
Yeah. So I think with the way we look at it, the spring is certainly important, but it's a snapshot of time. So we've got a timeline that we build up with these players. And obviously Chase put himself on the radar early in his college career. And then obviously seeing him as a sophomore, and then have an opportunity to evaluate him in the Cape. We have plenty of video in the system, so we have an opportunity to go back and take a look and analyze his swing and look at his mechanics and look at him defensively. So we feel really good about that. And then in the fall this past year, obviously James Madison has a fall season. They had a scout day. We attended that. So we feel really good about the progression, seeing where he's at. And then certainly at the end, it was more kind of check the box with the workout just to make sure we felt good where he was health-wise. So, sure, there's a little more challenge there because you don't get the entire spring season, but we felt good with the work that we did leading up to that. And we get to know these guys pretty well early on. So obviously getting to spend some time with him when he was at the Cape and then in the fall last year was extremely helpful.
When you look at Chase's swing, is there anything that just stands out just with his frame and that swing?
Yeah, I think what stands out is his ability to leverage the ball, and he's extremely athletic. He's mobile. He uses his lower half really well. I think some of the things that stand out to our group are his pitch recognition, his strike zone awareness. And so not only does he have really good bat to ball, but he can also impact the ball to all fields. And we've seen him drive the ball out to left center, and we certainly see him pull the ball. So that stands out with him. And honestly, feel like he's just scratching the surface. Really excited for him to have an opportunity to spend time with our group in player development and continue to work and grow as a hitter. And that was one of the things that stood out when we spent time with him. Like, he is eager to learn. He's eager to get better. He knows, even as good as he is right now, he knows there's a high ceiling there. So, those are some of the things that stand out with him offensively.
You mentioned Justin Campbell was a two-way player. How does that athleticism transition as a starting pitcher?
Yeah, so he came in, as I mentioned, two-way player, pitched, two-way guy for the first couple of years, and then decided, hey, I really want to focus on pitching. So I think where the athleticism comes in is where we see it's a big body. He moves extremely well. The coordination, how he uses his lower half, the timing, the way he syncs up his delivery. But there's also some excitement there as he continues to develop physically. I mean, one of the things that we talked to him about, he certainly spent some time in the weight room, but I think he thinks that's one area that he can continue to tap into and get strong with the lower half and continue to build up the upper half as well. So overall, having that type of athleticism and having that aptitude to be able to make some potential adjustments if necessary, we feel really good about that. So sure, it certainly helps to be an athlete.
Scott, it's probably too early to ask this, but I'll ask anyway. Do you guys have any feel for, since these are all three college guys, do you have any feel for if these guys will get to affiliates this year, or do you have to get through this process and kind of reconvene to figure that out first?
Yeah, I think get through the process first. Obviously, lean on James Harris and Surf and the entire player development crew for them to go out. What we have is a foundations program. We do it every year where this group will head out to Arizona. We'll spend some time with them where they get their feet under them and really kind of build up the right way. And a lot of it depends on workload. It depends on the innings they've thrown as pitchers. It depends where we feel they would benefit spending their time, and same with any of the hitters that we take. So yeah, that's kind of a wait and see approach. We'll see how that plays out, and then obviously want to maximize opportunities and make sure that they have innings and at bats so they can develop the right way. So we'll have more to come on that.
Scott, do you have any unique goals with this year's draft? Anything that you wouldn't ordinarily be trying to accomplish, where it's, fill in certain positions within the organization or anything like that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say any unique goal, then just really consistent. So be prepared, maximize the value in every round, and then make sure that our player development staff knows the players really well, so they can transition into the organization. In terms of prioritizing position players, pitchers, certain areas of need, I mean, these guys have a long path to get to the big leagues. Certainly going to support them every step along the way. But no specific goals right now outside of take the best available player and continue to bring in some more talent to the organization.
All right. See you tomorrow afternoon.
Thanks.
Thanks,
See
Scott.
you guys.
Thanks, Scott.
Nice work.